Uh, Thanks so much, Mariam, agreeing to come and be here this time of the day. So, hello, hi everyone. My name is Lorraine Masia Mbonera, and I'm originally from Malawi, but now I live in Coventry, United Kingdom. I'm also the author of I Was Not Born a Sad Poet, which is a poetry book that gives voice to asylum seekers and refugees in the UK and beyond. So in this video today, I'm with my sister, Mariam. This year's Black History Month, this month of October 2023, we were both invited to go and speak to an organization called Hibiscus on 16th of October as part of their Black History Month event. They wanted to celebrate us as asylum-seeking women and refugees living in the United Kingdom. So we're speaking to their group of asylum seekers in London. So in this video, Mariam and myself, we will be recording the speeches that we gave to at that event. So I'll start with you, Mariam. Please introduce yourself and just get into it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine. Yeah, my name is Mariam Yusuf. I'm originally from Somalia and I grew up in Kenya. So I've been in this country for 15 years and I consider this my second home. Now we were invited, as Lorraine said, to celebrate with the sisters and for them to salute and celebrate us. And to me, I find that we are all celebrating our sisters in different ways. And as is the theme for Black History Month, I felt it was a very good topic because it's not only today that we celebrated the sisters, we celebrate them every day. And why I say this, because our women, who I call my sisters, have built up a resilience that they are very strong women. And when I spoke to the women, I told them that they are stronger than what they think. And why I said that, because when I came to this country, during my first early years, I was very naive and very quiet. I wouldn't know where I belonged. So I was trying to fit into the community. It wasn't easy, but I felt if I didn't do something like integrate in one way or the other, maybe speak to people, just chat, probably I would I would start from there. So I started by going to school to learn English. Usually when you come, you register to a college and you do English and maths. That's usually asylum seekers. That's the first thing they do when they register with the college. So I did that, and I got confidence because I felt that the English spoken here was very different. So I tried to fit in by getting the confidence that now I'm speaking I don't know what they call it, the Queen's English, I don't know, but I felt that I'm able now to be confident, because sometimes the confidence knocks you off if the language is a barrier, and that is what is affecting a lot of women seeking asylum. So I was telling the women that the journey is not easy. When you come to this country, you face a lot of things. First of all, the trauma that you are struggling with. And the second thing is the confidence. The third thing is the language barrier. And you feel that you don't belong. All these aspects sometimes really knock somebody off, that you can't fit. So I was telling them, try and grasp any opportunity that comes across. If it's learning the English, which I learned, that made me gain confidence, that I was able to now speak out and go out there and talk to different audiences, the children, the community, the public. And as I said, organizations that support people seeking asylum, sometimes they want you to share your story. And sometimes when you're sharing your stories, they tell you, they give you kind of training how you do it. So in that way, I gained that confidence that I'm able to do something. And with the support from the organizations, they gave me that platform that you can't share your story because you own your story and the story belongs to you. There's nobody who knows your story better than yourself. So that gave me the confidence that I own my story. I say it as I want, and I say the bits that I feel I'm comfortable with. And I was ready to do that. And that confidence now made me build a resilience in trying to tackle kind of the racism that comes with it when the stigma of a person seeking asylum, you're labeled. The moment you open your mouth, then if you say you're an asylum seeker, then they look at you and view differently. I try to overcome that and say that it is my story. Whether I'm an asylum seeker or somebody different, listen to what I have to say. Then the label comes later because it is my story and it is fresh from where it's coming from. It's not being told by a third party or second party. So that gave me that confidence that I overlook such things because those things can affect somebody. So I shared with the women that it's not easy, it's challenging, but it's fulfilling. And in my storytelling and my speaking out, took me until I got an award, and it's not only one award. I was also recognized in Manchester by I was recognized in Manchester City Council during the International Women's Day in 2015. That the impact I had on sharing my stories and influencing women and influencing change. So I told the women sometimes it is not about what you're sharing, is how you're sharing, and you don't know who it's going to impact. You might not see it now, you might not see it later on. And I said again that when you feel you want to say something or you want to do something, do it to the best of your ability. Because not everybody wants to campaign, not everybody wants to go out there and talk. There's something for everyone. And just get that something you want to do. Because we believe when we've been here, I've been here 15 years, and some of our women have been here over 20 years. When you sit for 20 years not doing anything, feeling sorry for yourself, always saying that I wish it was like this, I wish it was like that. Have that mindset and say, the little difference I will make to me as a person and to somebody else, I think is very fulfilling. Because when you get your stay, and you've got women who have got their stay, now they don't know what to do. They feel like they are stuck, and yet now they've been given that liberty to work, to go to school, or to even travel, but they can't do anything because they've been in limbo for the last 20 years, waiting and waiting and waiting. During the waiting period, you don't feel that the years are going, but you wait. But after the wait is over, what next? That really affects the women, that they feel now they are lost and they can't do anything and they're stuck. So by the 15 years, I say I can account for the 15 years that I've been that every year I do something different. Every year I do something different. If I impacted a change in the women, that they're able to come out and say something, then I will say, okay, if I went to school, spoke to the children, and I spoke to the public, one person comes and tells you, actually, I understand why people are seeking safety, and I am with you and I support you. To me, that is enough. So that's what I would like the women to do. Speak to somebody, and it doesn't have to be telling your stories. You can go to the community and share a meal, because sometimes we find that we do not know our neighbors. The women are dispersed, or the men are dispersed to an area in the community. They don't know who their neighbor is. And I was saying that if we start by knowing who the neighbor is and sharing a meal, let them know you can talk about your culture, they talk about the culture, and sharing that difference is enough, because when you do that, you go to the next one, and then in a community, you come to the community and there's a lot to share about the stories, about the good times. And in England, there's a lot of festivals. So those are the festivals sometimes you want to know about, and you don't learn to know the culture. And that is how, in the beginning, when you do that, that's how now you come to share your story. You get the confidence that this person understands me, this person knows where I'm coming from, sees me as a human being, then I'm able to share my story. And that's how to build communities and build friendship. And I told the women on a personal level now, because I am not allowed to work, I'm not allowed to go to higher education, I found support from a good sponsor who asked what could I like to do with myself. Then I said, I wish I could do counseling, because I like to listen to people when they talk, I like listening much, I'm an active listener, and I just want to understand where people are coming from when they say what they have to say, and when they feel, how they feel. So I wanted to study counseling, which I did counseling, and I went to a level. Now I could not go further because of the restriction. Now you see, as I said, that you can't go for higher education. So I stopped there. But the level I did was good, because it gave me those skills that I can actively listen, actively understand somebody when somebody wants to share something. And that is the personal growth that I had. And in my own free time, so we call it me time, you lock out everything. You lock about your situation, you lock about friendship, you just have your me time. I like to crocheting. And I found that, I just went to the YouTube, I found that therapeutic. It takes my mind away, and I'm in my own world when I'm doing that. And sometimes, as a well-being, self-care, I do that. And I told the women, try and establish something you really like, that you really want to do at your own time. Then that one can help you build confidence, and you gain yourself and have a positive mind, so that when you go out there, you just think of doing something positive to create change. And change can come in every direction. It doesn't have to be on the asylum system. Change can come on somebody who's been aggressive and being racist towards you. The positive energy that you project to the person may change the mindset of the person. So that's how I told the women, and I hope I did something that somebody will listen. And I also wanted to listen what they were saying. And when they also had to share with me, a woman shared with me how she felt. And I felt empowered, because to me, that's resilience. Is only that they do not know how to react. They are very strong women, but they're not aware about it. I wouldn't want to go on and on, because I would go until the cows come home. So I just want to stop there.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Mariam. No, that was really moving. Thank you. So now I will also briefly talk about my speech when I was at the Hibiscus this month as part of their Black History Month event. Of course, I started with a poem, but I'm not reading a poem now, but probably at the end of this, there will be Mariam will read her poem. Okay, so yeah, I claimed asylum in 2015, and by then I was living in Leeds. When I claimed asylum, I was moved to Coventry, here where I live now, as part of what they call dispersal policy. When I came to Coventry, I immediately was introduced to a local group called Coventry Asylum and Refugee Action Group, in short, CALAG. CALAG is a collective of people who are going through the asylum process as well as immigration process. So when I came to CALAG, I realized that a lot of people were struggling, and I thought that would be me if my asylum would be refused, although I didn't think my asylum would be refused. But lo and behold, A year later, my asylum was refused, and I was also part of people who were homeless in our group. So CALAG exists to support one another, and we meet, we discuss things that are relevant to us, but we also bring in trainings that we want that are relevant to us. We bring in speakers that we need, and we've also done a lot of work in terms of supporting each other. For example, we started a housing foundation, which is housing people who do not have access or people who are unhoused. We've done a lot. I now work because I am now a refugee. My asylum case was successful from 2022. I'm also an author of I Was Not Born a Sad Poet. These are poems I was writing as I was going through the asylum process. So it was a way for me to actually survive because I had a lot going on, and especially during the pandemic, there was a lot going on in our community. And so I wanted to be putting my ideas down, and so that I could clear my head as well. I also talked to the women about the 10 tips. So I'll just quickly go through the 10 tips that I have used and still do use in my day-to-day life to help us stay sane, because we know hostile environment can be exhausting, and it is exhausting, and it can be long, and it is uncertain. So my number one tip, if you are an asylum seeker, is knowing your right. Do you have rights to access health, or to access school, or to any form of benefits if you have children? So find out what is possible within your situation. But also, number two is legal access. Don't fight on your own. Have someone who understands the law. The UK law is a very complex place. So if you're doing it on your own, it's not easy, but find someone to help you with a legal background. Number three, community. Community for sense of belonging. We all need to be part of something bigger, a community that will understand you, where when you have a problem, you can rely on and you can support one another. Number four, care for our mental health, because as I said, the process of seeking asylum can be emotionally draining and exhausting. You need to seek support if you are struggling. Tip number five, keep busy. When we stay idle, we give evil thoughts we start thinking about things that are not helping us. But if we keep ourselves busy, especially with things that gives us joy, things that we love to do, it helps us to go through, which is a difficult situation. You can learn a skill, go to college, or anything within your limit. Number six, find a friend, someone you can trust. They say a problem shared is half solved. So don't keep it to yourself, because sometimes it can be too much. That someone may not offer a solution, but the fact that they are there listening, you feel validated. Number seven, giving back. When we give back, we get satisfaction. There are people, much as we are in so much struggle, so much trouble, but there could be someone who would benefit from our intervention, and we will be very happy to hear that someone has gained something out of our intervention, out of our help. Number eight, have a plan, because whether you get a positive decision or a negative decision, have a plan. If it's a positive decision, what is the path that you're going to take in order for you to settle? If it is a negative decision, which we also know that Home Office is still giving negative decisions, think in terms of, I will be made homeless. Where would I go and seek for maybe accommodation? Who will support me? So have some form of plan so that you don't feel lost too much. Number nine, patience. We need to stay positive this whole time, because otherwise we do not want to go astray. We are strong, we are resilient, and definitely we can build a life here. Number 10, and the last one, is prayer, believing in your God. Have conversation with God. You said, I'm going to be strong. I'll have courage. You know, you are right here with me. So please, whatever you believe in, hold on to it. I have been recognized as an everyday hero by the City of Culture 2021. And recently, I was also offered a visa award for work that I have done. And yeah, just keep going, keep going. So thank you so much for listening. And sorry, there is no time for my friend Mariam to read a poem, but we'll make a session so that we can have a session of reading poetry, myself and Mariam. But thank you for being here. Sorry I rushed through around, but this is it from us. So Mariam, I will just bring you back.